Hi. Hmm. Today we're gonna make the Harry Potter logo, no? Not Harry Potter logo. What, Ravenclaw, right?
Yeah,
Leela, which one did you want?
Ravenclaw.
Okay, Ravenclaw. Okay, so I'm gonna share these pictures on the group so you can have a look and then you can follow me. Okay, so we're gonna draw the Ravenclaw crest today. It's called a crest when you have a logo or a design for maybe a school house or even the school for that matter. So I'm going to show you how to draw in rough first. We're going to draw all the elements in rough and then we are going to redraw everything in fair. All right. So when we're going to draw this in rough, I want you to try to draw very lightly. Don't draw too dark. So you need to hold your pencil a little far away and then draw very lightly. If you hold it too close, it might be too dark. Now this illustration is fairly complex. So I need you to draw slowly. It's okay if you don't finish everything today, but draw it slowly. And if you have any questions, do ask me. All right? Okay. Now, let's look at the logo first. I want you to see this. Don't draw anything. I want you to see this with me, study it, and then we will be able to draw it. Okay? So I'm going to draw some shapes on this, which will help you understand how to make a rough image, make a rough sketch, and then how to fill that up with more detail. Okay, here we go. So the first thing to do is to draw simple shapes like squares, circles, triangles. Now in this case, we are going to draw a square from here. And can you see that the background is a shield, what looks like a shield. And if we draw a square, that's about, oh, why isn't this going straight? Yeah. One second. So I've drawn a square, then I've drawn this line that goes straight vertically through the square and then also horizontally. So can you see if we make a square and divide it into 4 parts and then one part extra down will give you the tip of the shield. And then you will just join it with this very graceful curved line. Maybe you can take it a little higher like they have made it, but it's not necessary. You can also make it from lower. Okay, so here's one line. Then we draw the inside. I'm going to draw on half the shield so you know what I'm drawing. So you draw a little bit of a border on the inside. And from the center, you will draw the shield like this. How thick is the border? It is about 1/3 of 1/2. See, this is 1/3, 1, 2, 3 parts. So you know how thick it has to be. Everything we draw is about size, shape, proportion. Now, once you've drawn the shield, right at the base of this, of the top two, we have, and running through the middle half, we have this band. This is the banner, right? So the banner is going to be made like that. I'm going to show you how to make these banners. So that's taken care of. And then how about the bird? Now, how do we see the shape of the bird? It looks very complicated. But again, think about simple shapes. What if we draw at this level, which is at half of the bottom squares, just about half, slightly higher. You can draw two lines which are parallel. And this will give you the shape of the bird, more or less. And then you can go ahead and make. So I'm going to be drawing all of this again. I want you to follow it. Don't draw right now. I want you to see this. Don't draw it. I want you to observe. Observation is very important. And what do you observe? How far am I drawing this line? And then with respect to the squares, how is the shape looking? Where is that line coming? I just want you to see that. I am going to share a picture of this also in the group, so you'll be able to also study it. Now at about 1/3 or less than 1/3, I'm taking a line straight for the wings. And over here, where is the line going from? From somewhere here till a little to the right of half. And then I'm going to be drawing lots of feathers here. So the lines that I'm drawing right now are just rough lines. But these will help us draw the proper shapes. Now, these are the more complicated shapes. And then, of course, we will draw these two bands in the backdrop later on. Okay, have you understood? Have we covered all the elements?
How do you draw the effect like in the Ravenclaw thing, how it's folding over?
I'll show you now all of that. The fold of the ribbon of the banner.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll show you all of that.
Okay.
Okay, now do you see how the proportions are going to work? Yeah? So,
Yes, ma'am.
good. So now you can follow me. I'm going to be making the same drawing, the same proportions. Let me just add the, oh,
Mom,
sorry, yeah.
so I won't be using watercolor for today. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can use whatever colors you want. All right. So now, first things first, we want to draw this in rough. Always first make a sketch in rough and then make it in fair. So in fair, we're going to make it fairly big. But here we'll make it slightly small. Now, let's first make that square. How do you make a square? Just measure with your fingers. Are both sides of this the same? Sometimes with fingers, you can't measure. Of course, you can use a scale, but I want you to learn to draw without using tools like scales also. So this is the width, and how much is the height? Just a little short. So I'll make that. Now it's easy. But remember to make this very light. Are you able to see it? Look at where I'm holding my pencil. If you hold the pencil too close, you're going to make it really dark. So hold it behind a little bit. Now divide this into half vertically, half horizontally. And how much space do we need below? Just the same amount of space as half the square. Bring it down.
Can I draw it bigger?
We are going to draw it bigger afterwards. So right now, I just want you to go over all the shapes so we know where our difficulty will come. So when you make it bigger, then you are a little more careful. Okay, are you able to draw this? Have you been able to draw this? Okay. Now, for the shapes. For the shield, we're going to make the shape from this corner. It's going to be a little curve that goes up. And then from up, it goes down. So see, it starts from the tip, goes down and then goes up. Then from up, it goes down and then goes up. But on the corners, it is a little pointy. Now, each of these lines, let's divide this into 3 parts. 1, 2, 1, 2. So this gives us the thickness of the edge or the border of the shield.
Can you do the border a little darker? I can't see it properly.
The whole thing has to be drawn very light. I'm trying to tell you, draw it very light. See now, do you see it? It's just 1/3 of the distance from the edge. You know how to make 1/3? If you have one line, you can divide it into 3 equal parts. That's 1/3. Okay, everyone with me?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
now, before we do anything, I'm going to draw 2 parallel lines over here. So this is what we'll do. I can see that one cross line is coming from the corner and going towards this corner. Okay, this is, so from here, it'll emerge from a little higher, and from the top, it'll emerge from the corner. We'll draw one straight line. The next one is just at the base where the square touches the curve of the shield. And then just a little distance below, you can make the second line also. So this will finish off. Maybe there's a third line. I think I see a third line. So the same distance away on the other side, you can make the third line. Now, all these 3 should be about the same size. Now, in between all of this, we also have some vertical lines, and they are going to be painted blue and gray. So you make them in equal, just make them the same distance apart. Keep going towards one side or the other. You can start from the center. It's always good to start from the center. Make sure that the drawing is very light.
I'm creating a bigger one for the fair one.
We are going to make this again in fair. Don't do your first one. If you make it as the fair one, there are chances that you'll make mistakes. Always draw in rough first. I want you to make it a habit to draw at least 2 pictures in rough and then fair. Never please, if you are going to draw your first picture and make that the fair picture, don't tell anyone you come to my class. Okay? I mean, you're free to do that, but always rough, always designs in rough. Okay, moving on. Shall we make that banner now? Now the banner, I want you to see how this line goes. A banner is made like that. Wherever you see, whichever side you see the banner folding, you make that edge first. So look at how I'm making this. Any banner, suppose I want a banner that is folding down, like the Ravenclaw banner is folding down. I'll take the bottom edge. My banner is going to be this thick. I'll take the bottom edge and make a squiggly shape like this. Okay, so that I can then make a parallel line edge. So this part of the banner is done. And then the same distance that I've taken down here, I imagine the banner up here and finish that part. And then in this case over here, but it's not the same in our picture. In our picture, it's just till here. Okay, so we don't have this edge. And then you finish the inside edges of the banner as well. Now, if I want to draw the banner going up, how can we do that? I want you to try making it go up.
Mine doesn't look like a banner.
Why? What is it looking like? Let me see.
Mine looks like a staircase with feet.
Yeah, let me see what you've done. It's possible that a few lines have gone a little off, and I'll show you. Right. Now see what you've done. 1 minute. I'll do this one at a time. Now, in both your cases, you do realize that this part where we turn this around, that is the fold of the fabric, right? So the vertical line will come from the end of the curved part. The same thing over here. So Leela, in your case, you've drawn this line way out. It's not touching. See, what's happened is you've got this part fine, but you've gone and drawn this line very far away. So it doesn't mean anything. What is happening here? There's nothing happening here. So if you make the line come here, then it will look like it is part of the folded fabric. So I want you to just tell me if you see this as a ribbon that is folding. If you don't see it like that, let me just bring a ribbon. I'll fold it for you, and I want you to see it first. Visualize it. Sometimes it's difficult to imagine these things. So let me just get a ribbon, okay? All right, so here is this is from my stationery kit. Now imagine if this were a flag. This is the free end over here. And I'm making these folds. So can you see this? I'm making a fold here. And I'm making a fold here. And I've got this line up here. Can you see how this is folding? You have the bottom line. You've done this and this and this, right? And then can you see from the top, we have a line coming just up right above the fold over here, right above the fold over here, and then it goes outward. So what is happening in the back? In the back, it's the same thing happening from the other side, from the top. Okay? So I want you to now try to just make this banner go upward. Let's see if we can do that. Then we will have to fold the top edge, right? So here we go. Go. Wait, let me spotlight for everyone. All right. So look at this. One fold. Okay. And I'm making another line. Suppose I make another fold, the same line. And I'll join these two, and these two. And now because this is a ribbon, also the ends will join here, but it is not going to be visible, correct? But now do you see the logic? Do you understand it?
I understood it, but mine still doesn't look like a ribbon.
It should look like it. If you have drawn the line correctly, one part will have been done. Can you show me again? No. See, where are your vertical lines connecting? You have understood it, but when you're drawing it, your vertical lines are not connecting at the turn of the ribbon. They need to connect from the turn to the turn. That is the edge you see. Did you get it?
Can I draw it like the turn first and then a line and then the next turn?
Try it. Let's see. I don't understand how you're drawing it, but if it works, even any technique that works, you can use. Avantika and Myra, how are you doing? Did you get this shape? It could be a little complex.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I got it.
Okay, good. Okay, shall we try making this on the logo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here we go. So now we have one big, what's called, this is called, bless you. This is called a drop cap. A drop cap or a drop capital letter is a letter which is bigger than the rest of the letters. So this is the letter R. And where does it come? According to our grid, it starts off at half of the top half of the squares and then comes to just below the half line. And then it goes outward a little bit. So there's a rectangle in which the R fits in, where the lines are curved like that. So it almost looks like a post-it, right? Then from here, we have, now I'm just going to break up the banner. It'll be easier for you to draw. Just see if this is easy. Now, just a little below this corner of the post-it, I'm drawing a line at, which is here. Huh? This is our square. This is half line. This is 1/4 from the top. At this 1/4 from the top, I'm going to draw a line that goes down and slightly up and then outside of our shield. Can you draw this? So it's gone a little outside the edge. And the next one we are going to draw is going to be at this half point of the square. Again, it's going to be parallel to this, the line on top. It comes down and goes, or does almost the same thing, but it turns around and goes behind the shield a little bit. All right, and the line from top comes in a curve and joins the bottom. Okay, did you get this part? Yes, no, yes. I need some response, kids. If you've not got it, then otherwise I'll just rush forward. If you've got it, just give me a thumbs up or something. I'm looking at all of you. Thank you. All right, now from the top, we will have a line, a small curve come down. And from the bottom, a little below where the ribbon has gone out, we'll have another short curve come like this. It comes out even more. And these two edges can be joined like that also. And see this thing, it's like a hook that's pointing downwards. And the line that joins, it joins before the hook starts going down. Don't turn it around to join the hook here. So you draw from this point, you will draw an S shape like that, a narrow S shape, very slim.
I didn't get where we had to draw the point from.
This point,
So, ma'am, we did the hook, and then where are we supposed to join it
from this edge, see wherever it turns. When you make a hook, there's usually a turn and the end of the hook. Don't join the line to the end of the hook because that means you'll have to come all the way around. You don't want to do that. Exactly at the point where the hook turns, you join it over there. That's all I meant.
Okay.
Okay, now from underneath this line, you will draw one line that comes to the turn on the S. And then from the top of the S, another line that comes to the end of the S. Got it? Okay.
Ma'am, can I show you?
Yes, let me see. Okay. Okay, very nice. So see what's happened over here at the bottom. Okay, Myra. Here at the bottom, there's too many things happening. So I'm just going to show you one more time. This part, how does it go? This is the edge. This is the edge of my shield. I've drawn it here. Okay. Then we draw a curve, the claw that comes out. You've got the top part right, so I'm not going to draw that. You bring the hook and then you draw an S shape. Right? You've got this part. On the left, you've got some very weird line happening. No, you just want to draw a straight line down. And then you can draw a straight line down here as well. Maybe curve it a little inside. Now, this is how fabrics are drawn. It can look a little complicated, but once you color it, it'll look perfectly fine. All right, now for the bird. Now look at where I'm starting. This is the center. I'm drawing these lines a little darker so you get to see it. All these are important lines. This is the end of the square that we had first made. This is the center of that end. This is the middle of the square. This is the top of the square. So in this part, we are going to draw 3 lines. They are going to be from these spots. So I'm dividing this in 3 parts. 1, 2, and 3. This part. And here I'm going to draw lines which look like they are going from 12 o'clock to, 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Maybe they can come slightly lower. So I'm simplifying this form for you. The top part of the head of that raven is just a hook like that again. And take it all the way down to this corner. So it looks like a walking cane. Now from the top, we have to draw beak. So we'll leave some space over there. Make a circle for the head. That tiny circle helps us to make a neck where we made this parallel line. That is where we make the neck and make the body of the bird a little fatter, just a little fat. And then a tail like that. Everyone got it? Now a little. Now just where the head ends over here, I am making the wing. So my wing is going to be like an S shape that comes up to right above the banner, like an inverted S shape. See, it's an ulta S. Just till here. This is not the full wing, because the full wing is going to be drawn like this. After you come here, you draw a wing tip that goes up, but at an angle. Now, usually wings of birds are like that. I'm just going to show you a design. This way and this way. And what we normally do is draw one feather, and then we can draw the inside. This is the shoulder of the bird. And you don't even have to draw this line actually. All the other feathers then are drawn like this. Coming towards this line. You can imagine it, you can draw it and then erase it afterwards, whatever you want. And then you have some smaller feathers. So you have smaller feathers towards the inside. That's just like it's in its underarm. And then you have thinner feathers coming out from there. This is the structure of a bird. It looks better that way. So you've got big feathers, small feathers, medium feathers. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to make one big feather. Imagine this line coming to the shoulder of the bird. And then we will draw some feathers. Now there's a shape in which you draw. Don't just draw them all over. Make them slightly curved and see how they curve up right up to somewhere over here, the middle of the body. So we can draw maybe 4 or 5 bird wing feathers on the top. Then we have our logo. So we're not going to do anything over there. Draw the small feathers here. And from here, again, you can draw tiny feathers. Is everyone with me?
And wait.
Yes, I'll wait.
Then, ma'am.
How about the others? Is everyone done?
No,
Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait. Shall we draw the beak of the bird? All right. Normally, this is how the beak of a bird is drawn. We have drawn a circle, right? And the neck. And then we have the body of the bird coming somewhat like this, right? Now, in this case, our bird is slightly flat in head. It's not a round head. That's very important. Then you have like cheekbones, and it's almost like another C shape in, and this could be like a Y. And then from here you have a beak coming outward. Now somehow this kind of a beak is very important. And then the base layer. So there's a good chance that your birds might look like, instead of ravens, they might look like parakeets. But maybe we can make them more rounded. Yeah, a fatter, rounder beak. Fat at the tip. Don't make it too sharp at the tip. And then from here, instead of the neck going in, you can have it come down straight. And the eye will be somewhere. Let me see where the eye is. The eye is in this part. So you draw an eye, pretty much like a regular eye, but don't draw the bottom. So the eye, magnifying it, this is how we draw it. Like a human eye.
I didn't get the eye.
It's just like that. It's a curve with a circle underneath it and a dot in the center with a highlight. And we don't have space for all this highlight and all. So we are basically just going to make a curved line with a dot and yeah, maybe a little bit of highlight shown. Let's see.
And that's how I had drawn my eyes for some human figure we had to do in school, and then everyone was looking creepy.
Oh, no, I think, well, okay. Sometimes eyes can look very creepy.
And the eyes were okay, but everyone's figures were just looking creepy except my friends who had shaded them nicely. But then she decided to paint it and then it ripped.
So she wanted to make it look just as creepy as everyone else's.
No, hers was looking good and she was happy. And then she wanted ma'am to fix one thing. She had done it realistically. We weren't supposed to, but she did because nobody knows how to do that. Then ma'am saw it and she said she can't help her because she draws better than her.
That's cool. That's really nice. All right.
Then
Now, has everyone's bird turned out to look somewhat like mine? Now we'll draw the feet. So the feet are fun. You draw one foot that is slightly straighter down, and it has hair on or feathers on its legs. Leave some room over here for claws. So this is the shape of the claws. You draw a C shape in the opposite direction, and then you draw an S shape from one side and S shape from the other side. And you can make this C shape a little more dramatic. And from here, you have those feathers. You can make it the top part, the front part be longer also.
the feathers look like someone tied a friendship band on the bird's leg.
Does it? Friendship bands look like that now?
Like some of them.
I didn't know. Okay, my fellow's feet are too long in the rough image, but it's okay. Now, did you notice that the border also has a design? It's got a very nice ribbon design of its own.
I thought it was just scribbles.
No, so it's very nice. So you start off with a C at the bottom, and then you just make S's. This is like when you make the design for braids. Braids on hair. Just a lovely S shape, two parallel lines. All right. Shall we now draw this in fair, and then the Ravenclaw part I'm going to show you next week. Okay, we have about 20 minutes to make this in fair. Will you do this now? And if you have a problem, you will ask me. So first, how do we start? This is number 1. You start with the shield. Then you do the banner 2. Then you do the backdrop patterns 3. Then you do the raven 4. Okay, that's the order. All right, let's start with the square. Will you all draw with me? So I want my shield to be about this big. So my square should be
Should we still do it very light or should we do it darker?
No. So many of the things we still have to make very light.
Okay.
First, start with the square. Remember how to measure the square?
Will you say when to do it dark then?
I will, yes, definitely. See, all these first preliminary shapes, all the line at half vertical, half horizontal, all these have to be first made very light. What happened to you, Alia? Why are you looking so worried? Okay. Then comes the bottom, same distance as this. And I will draw my shield. The shape of the shield is like this. Divide this in 3 parts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Make the design on the shield. All right, now draw the other lines, the diagonal and the vertical. I want you to see, I want to see how you do it. Are you able to draw these long lines freehand?
They're kind of wobbly.
Okay. Let's see how wobbly lines look also.
Okay.
Now, just to keep this clean, for a change, I'm going to ask you to use the eraser and remove excess lines. Because see how many lines we have in our rough sketch? That's fine for the rough sketch, but you should not have so many lines in the fair sketch. So periodically, you can keep removing excess lines. Now our banner.
I think I left my eraser at school.
Oh, okay. Of all the days.
Ma'am, can you slow down?
Yes, I can. Let me just finish this ribbon. I want you to remember the steps that we took, and I want you to try to draw it yourself. I'm sure you can. No? So whenever you come across a design like that, you must always make things like this. Break up every part and try drawing it. Now, the design that we have over here, if we find it confusing, you can always draw it over here and look at each line. Say, okay, first line, if I draw like this, how does the second line come? This looks like it's getting joined here. And the second line is like two S's that go into each other. And then they finish off over here. Then from this point, another two S's come up. And now how do you draw the line? You can always say the line first goes up, then right, and then up. And then another one goes up and right and up. This is how you have to learn to read lines. It's not very difficult. You can always tell which direction the line is going, how far it is going, where it is stopping, where it is turning, isn't it? That's exactly how even professional artists do. Then you have two more lines in the middle over here. What happened, Myra? You got tired? Tell me if you're tired, don't push yourself. If you're confused, ask me. I will tell you, I will solve your problem. Are you seeing the stuff that I'm drawing? Are you understanding it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, now I'm going to get rid of the lines in the banner and the drop cap. So at this stage, I can also ink all of this because, except for the top part, because the feathers will come up there. But I can definitely ink this and the bottom part. Oh no, here the tail comes.
If you're inking it, then are you going to ink the lines in the back? Or?
I will be inking most of it because all of it has a black backdrop. Black outline, sorry.
The vertical lines, then can I use a scale to redo that?
No, don't use a scale. Scales are horrible. Those lines are not made with a scale. They're also wobbly, aren't they? Okay, so here goes. I have my circle that's fitting. See where it is fitting in this half of the, within that circle. And then I have two lines parallel, which are going from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Seems like that. And then part of it is coming down here. Where the shield is turning, that's where I will get my tail feathers. Just a triangle sticking out. Somewhere over
Ma'am,
here.
I
Draw the
just
one.
right now.
Sorry, slow down. Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I think I drew my bird a bit too fat.
Then slim it down, na? Send it out for a run. Give it some exercise.
Ma'am, if I make it smaller, then the head looks too big. But if I keep it this size, then the body looks too wide.
All right, no, adjust it. Adjust it so that everything is in proportion. Now the legs. See, our first pictures can be very wonky of all these things. It's okay. Let it be wonky. That's the only way we can learn what to do. Yeah.
This is a little off topic, but we had this big debate in school of
Uh-huh.
whether India is celebrating their 76th or their 77th.
Oh, very interesting. So what was your thought?
77th. So, what do you think?
Let me calculate first. 1947. So 1927 will be our 80th or 79th.
79th what?
Independence Day.
Oh,
So no. So it's different for Independence Days and for birthdays. I know that. The first Independence Day was on 15th August 1947. That was one.
my society has a banner saying 76th, so. But I think that's wrong.
When
If
children
we
are born,
calculate 15th of August 1947 as the first year, then 76 years, otherwise it's 77.
no, how will it be 77? It'll be 75 then. Either 1947, if it was the
If we
first.
consider it as the first year of independence, then like
No, so
this year we're completing 76 years.
right. So the point is that uh, it- what you're saying is also correct. The first year of independence was from 47 to 48.
Yeah.
But the first Independence Day was 47.
And the first Independence Day was 48 because when I was born, we did not celebrate that as my first birthday, right?
So that's the difference between people and events. An event took place, right? We got independence in 47, correct?
I'll check my history textbook.
See, now if I there is something in maths about this. It's like time and duration or something like that. We are celebrating our 77th, right? 23 to, no, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So it will be our 76th, right?
What?
For sure. 76th Independence Day.
Ma'am, can you show the book again?
I can, sorry.
Ma'am, 77th.
The 77th.
According to Google.
77th. Okay. Let's say 47 to 57. 57 was the 10th. And 27 will be 80th. 27. 26th will be 79th. 25th will be 78th. 24th will be 77th.
On August 15, 2023, India will proudly celebrate its 77th Independence Day, marking 76 years of freedom.
Correct. See, that's two different things. So the 76.
We are completing 76 years and starting our 77.
Correct. Exactly right. All right. Shall we make the wings now?
Okay.
Okay, so right in the center, where the center line is, we are going to make those wings. So remember, you come, you make a very sleek line. Leave a little bit of the head visible. Huh? I hadn't made my head visible earlier. It looked like that poor fellow shrugging. Make a nice slender S and make a parallel line to that. We're not going to make that black. Huh?
Got to add a neck.
The guideline. And then you draw these feathers. Now the trick to drawing these feathers to look like feathers is when you're inking them, some places in between, you will make lines like that. You just make a little V shape inside there. Then you will make the second one, which is slightly pointing towards the right. Third, fourth, fifth, maybe one more over here.
The wing is split twice the size of the bird.
Yeah. But I think I can also increase the size of my banner a little bit. It's become too narrow. Just this part, I'm making it a little bigger. It should not be too far away from the head of the raven. I'm not drawing any feathers on the banner. Underneath the banner, see where I've drawn these two parallel lines? I'm going to draw these feathers. Now, again, when we are drawing these feathers, I'm just looking at this in detail. Here also, the lines are a little sharp. And I think there are two lines, but we are going to just convert this into one row of feathers.
So my drawing's really messy right now.
I think everyone's drawings will be messy at this stage.
So can I do another one before next class?
Yeah, of course. Now, all these shades that we have in the bird's body, they're all black because they're trying to show that this is a black bird.
But there are some shades of blue in this.
Yeah, there are. But mostly they're trying to show this as a black bird with highlights. So I want you to try and make as many of those shapes as you can see. So make a thick dark line here for the tail. And then here also there are more feathers.
Different type of eye for the bird.
What is a different type of eye for the bird?
I'll draw it and show you.
Okay. Now we also have a little bit of highlight for the legs. Yeah, you can draw that. But see, the face that you've made, remember, we're not going to keep the bottom. And the beak has to be a little bigger so that it looks like a menacing bird. It can't look like a pigeon. Otherwise, it will have to be called pigeon claw.
Mom, but you just said this is a black bird anyway.
It is a black bird, like a raven. A raven is a black bird.
Call it a piccolo.
Type of bird.
A type of bird.
There is a type.
I didn't say type of bird.
No, ma'am, like you meant the color as black or the bird as a black bird?
No, just the color.
Okay.
Okay, now shall I start inking? This will help you see my design better. So when inking, always start with the parts which are overlapping other parts. And always remember to draw your final lines in such a way that you can see the line. Now see, if I start drawing the line from here, because my pen is held so close, I don't know where this line is going. So I could often go wrong. So I am turning my book around so that I can see where the line is. And I can control the line and draw it this way. So I don't make any mistakes. Right. After this is drawn, I'm going to wait to draw this because first I need to draw the shield. But I need to wait to draw the shield because first I need to draw the bird. So when we are darkening the lines, the order in which we draw all the elements can change. And in this case, though I have drawn so many overlapping lines and all, I am going to draw the lines of the bird slightly differently. So I am basically just drawing the blue shape. And all these tiny, tiny things matter. Like what is the shape you make over here of the blue color on the leg? Then it will look like a leg. Otherwise, it looks like something else. It's all about getting the right shape in the right place, in the right proportion and right size to make something look like what you want it to look.
Excuse me, ma'am, can I show you?
Yes. One second, I'm just going to pin your frame so I can see better. Oh, that is very nice. That's very nice.
Ma'am, my raven doesn't look scary at all.
It's okay. Everybody's ravens might not look scary today. But let's just continue.
Okay.
See, when I'm drawing the feathers, this is what I'm drawing a little bit. And I'm going to make a thick outline underneath, around all of these. And they are in different places, that V shape. Makes it look like a very old bird.
Ma'am, the banner is in front of the bird's wing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's a big black patch over here. And in fact, the feathers that I've made are really small. So I'm going to make an adjustment. I am going to draw my feathers coming all the way from here. Anyway, all of this is going to be black. Now here, I will first draw these shapes and then I will draw a black line around them. So the first shape I'm drawing is the biggest feather here.
Um,
Yes.
what happened?
What happened?
Looks like a duck with raven wings.
Oh, oh, all right, fine. So duck claw, we'll call it duck claw.
What do I do?
You can make your own Hogwarts houses. And you can also call it whatever I can draw claw. Okay, now that this is drawn, now I can draw the inside of my shield. Remember, this is a very complicated design to draw any case. So I can see all of you have put in a very good effort. And trust me, it takes a lot of time to be able to draw shapes like these, overlapping shapes, multiple crests. So I think you should all be proud of yourselves. You've done a very brave job. Now I'm going to pinch out the ends of the shield just a little bit so they don't come straight down, but they curve a little bit. This looks like a very menacing shield.
And my shield looks more scary than the bird.
Okay, that's also a good thing. So something you got scary.
Yay.
Now tell me something. Did you guys understand how to draw this? Do you think you will be able to at least try something like that?
I can draw feathers. Better.
You can draw petals?
Feathers. I can draw the feathers.
Feathers. Yeah. No, what I mean is, did you understand how I planned? I separated out the shapes. I figured out a proportion, starting with simple shapes, proportioned it, then drew part of the shape, then built up one on top of the other. Did you understand that process?
Yes. Ma'am,
Yeah.
my art teacher would be very disappointed in you because she's always yelling at us to draw the golden point first.
Which is the golden point?
The bird, I think.
Well, that's another technique. But I find that when I do my technique, I can proportion things a lot better. But listen, there are multiple techniques in drawing. So it's best strategy to try and discover as many techniques as you can so that you can draw a lot of things. Just
And
because one technique,
very line technique.
sorry,
Something very liney.
what is very liney?
Like when I draw, if it's something, then I end up making many lines on it.
That's okay. That's very sketchy then. Maybe that is your technique. So remember that in art, especially, just because one person's technique is good does not make every other technique bad or wrong. So if anyone is saying this is the best technique, maybe it's best for them. Try it out, and it could be so. So you should always be open to trying out new things. All right, so now it's almost 5:30. So we are going to complete this in the next class. All right?
Okay.
Next Monday. Okay. All right. I shall see you then next week. Bye.
Mine, thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.